So I thought that God wasn't listening, but it turns out he was. I didn't know it at the time, but this was the beginning of the call to Anden Ministries. Man, I would love to be able to tell you this really awesome story about how God just opened up heaven and called me to Anden Ministries. And in a sense, that's what he did, but not really. So Anden Ministries came about, and I think God had been talking to me for quite a while about this ministry. And the reason it started is because I was a pastor and I had a fall from ministry. We'll get into all of that, and I'll tell you all that story later, but I think it's important for you to understand where I was and where I am now. And so Anden Ministries, in those moments when God called me to Anden Ministries, it literally was the darkest point in my life. I was very, very dark. So what had happened was I had blown up my ministry, I had blown up my marriage, and pretty much most of my friends, at least that's the way it felt, were completely gone. I mean, they weren't around or anything. So here I was, I'd come home, and there was nobody else home. It was just me. And I walked in, there was a lamp on in the corner of the room, so it was pretty dark, and I just left it that way. Not for any particular reason, I just did. And I went over and I sat down on this chair, and I picked up my guitar. So I always kept my guitar in my living room just because, I don't know why, I just did. I like to pick it up and play it. Anytime I was kind of in a little bit of a weird mood, like could be not super dark mood or anything, just like not in a good place, I would play the guitar and it would usually bring me out. But this night it didn't. It was just more of I was playing some dark tones and some dark music, and I was praying, and I was like, God, what's going on? And so, like I mentioned before, I just really felt like God was not answering my prayers. He wasn't listening, but it turned out he was listening the whole time. And here's how I know: because in that moment, I had decided that I was done. I was going to end my life, and it was going to be over. And the last thing I remember praying before God did something pretty cool is, God, if you really are listening and you really do care, then show me that this is not, because I am literally getting ready to come see you, Lord. And so here we go. I'm ready. So if it's not what you want me to do, then, show me something cool. I think I was even sarcastic. I was like, show me something amazing. And so I was in that moment, and just as I was about to do that, now I didn't actually hear a voice, I didn't actually see anybody, but I was kind of running through this checklist in my brain about, how people are going to be affected and all that. And I was going through everybody and list. I'm like, they'll be fine, they'll be fine. And then, now she wasn't actually there, but I actually saw my daughter. And I saw her face, and I saw the look on her face, and I heard her just kind of as if she was like, Dad, why? And in that moment, man, I tossed everything aside. I picked up my guitar and I just started playing. And it was some pretty crazy lyrics that I probably will never share with you, or maybe I will in more of like a different setting, but they were pretty dark. But then it turned to, and I wrote this chorus, and the words were, God, won't you rescue me from this life I'm living, and rescue me from this hell. And it was something I picked up my phone and recorded. I wish I could tell you I had that recording right now, but I do have the lyrics, and I'm going to play for you now here in a moment. But first I want to tell you, Anden Ministries exists for people that are in this kind of a situation, and long before you get to this situation. But all these things that are going on in your life, it's perfectly normal, and there is hope. Oh, man, there's hope. And so, you can reach out to me, or you can use that phone number if you're that close. If you're having suicidal thoughts or anything like that, reach out, man. I have coaching that I can help you with. Some of the stuff that I went through to get there, big stuff. And so I look forward to working with you guys. And now you know a little bit more about Anden Ministries, and there's even more to come.
If I stop walking the earth, anybody notice? If I stop breathing, anybody care? If I stop breathing, anybody care? God, won't you rescue me from this life I'm living? You calling me in. God, won't you save me from this hell? God, won't you rescue me from this life I'm living, I'm a college living. God, won't you save